Here's how to change a tire on a bike. This is a front tire and it has a mechanical disc brake on it. So it's easiest, if it's possible and nothing breaks, to flip your bike over like that. That's what I normally do. If you don't have disc brakes and you have caliper brakes, that's how you get them out. You just kind of pull it and lift it up, and then to put it back in is the opposite. So with caliper brakes, this is how you would put it back in after you change the tire. And then there's a little booty that goes over it, and that's how a caliper brake would get out of your way if you're trying to take a caliper brake off. With disc brakes, you don't have to do anything. Other than with hydraulic brakes, you don't want to squeeze the lever while the wheel's out. So you lift up that releaser, and then you have to unscrew it a little bit because there's kind of a safety on there. So the wheel doesn't fall out if it accidentally becomes released. So you unscrew it like that, and then it will just lift straight up out of there. And then on the tire, this one has a Presto valve with a screw-on nut on there. So you got to unscrew the nut and then unscrew the cap. So once you've taken both of those off, then you need to take the tire off the wheel. You might need a tire lever. My tire here is pretty loose, but some of them are super tight. So when you use a tire lever, there's a prying edge and then it has a hook on it. So you can pry it down and then you can hook it on the spokes like this. So you see that goes in there. You kind of try not to catch the inner tube in there and then hook it on the spoke. And then you take your second one, and the second one you stick underneath the tire a few inches down the line. And then with that one, usually at this point your tire is going to get pretty loose and you can just run it around the rim and pop it off. You might have to do a couple more takes depending on how tight it is in there. And then you can pull the inner tube out. And then when you get to the valve stem, you just kind of push the valve stem in and pull the entire inner tube out like that. Notice that I have the disc brake up when I'm doing this because I don't want to accidentally bend the disc while I'm doing this. And I'm going to put a new, better quality tube in there rather than patching it, but you could patch it if you wanted to. And if you're going to patch it, unscrew the air stopper valve there, put a tire pump on it, and then pump it up. And once it's pumped up, you don't have to pump it up super, super high, but you'll be able to hear the hissing. Like you can see the hole right there. That's where the hole is. So if I was going to patch it, I would have found the hole there. And then your standard patch kit, you sand the area down, and then you put some rubber cement on it. You let it dry until it's tacky, and then there are patches that you peel off and stick on to it, and then you put it back in the wheel, and it's ready to go. But whether or not you're replacing the tire, I know where the hole is now. It's that far from the valve stem. So you want to make sure you look in the tire where the hole is, kind of line it up, and then see if there's still a nail or a thorn or something in there. Because what could happen is you put a new tube in there, and then the nail is still in there, and it pops your new tube. So make sure that you clean out the inside of the tire and remove any thorns before you put the new tube in. And on the new tube or the old tube, whatever you decide to do, unscrew the holding nut there, and then you also unscrew the air valve and pump it up just a little bit, just enough to give it some shape. Because what could happen if you put it in there when it's flat is that you might pinch it between the wheel and the tire and make a hole in it. So you just pump it up just a little bit like that, just so it's a squishy noodle before you put it into the tire. And then I tighten up the air sealing valve there so I don't accidentally let air out of it while I'm putting it in. And then to begin, I find the hole there and I shove it through the hole. You can see how squishy the tire is. So there's really not a lot of air in there. That way, that allows me to slide it in there without doing any damage. And then I put the retainer nut on, just loose. You don't have to tighten it super tight, but I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally, have it come out while I'm putting the rest of the tire in place. And then you just kind of use your fingers to put it inside of the tire once again. And then work your way around the tire with your fingers, just putting the tire inside of the rim like this. And this tire is a real easy one. It's really loose on there. So you might need to use your levers to lever it back on there if you have a really tight tire, but mine just went on with fingers. And then tighten up the nut that holds the valve in place and just make sure it's sticking out straight. I think tightening up the nut will make it straight so it's not off at an angle one way or another. Now, in my case, this tire, it rides pretty loose on the rim. So after I've tightened up that nut, I just want to look around the tire and make sure there's no spots where the sidewall is sticking out. Everything is down below the rim. And then I pump up the tire. And adding air loosens up the nut on the valve stem. So I go ahead and tighten that nut back up. And then I also tighten up the little valve that keeps the air in to make sure that it doesn't come out. And I put the plastic cap on it. And then slowly and carefully I take my new wheel with the tire that I've just changed and make sure I get the disc into the disc brake. And once it's in the disc brake, then I just put it down into the grooves. And then I want to tighten up the nut side so that it gives enough resistance for me to fasten the clamp on the other side. And that's kind of a feel. You might have to try a few times before you get it right. But ideally, I like to get it so that when I pull the lever up on the other side, it is all the way up. Like it's not sticking out so it could catch on something or be accidentally knocked loose. I like to put it flush with my fork. So just kind of feel your way around and then get it so that it's just like that. And then give it a spin just to make sure it's not rubbing on the brakes. No matter what kind of brakes you have, you just want to spin it and make sure it works.